Hey folks, this is Ardwulf, and I'm coming to you with another episode of Ardwulf Presents, this time from Runes of Magic by Frogster. This is a game that launched a couple years ago, I want to say in 2009, and unlike the majority of the Western free-to-play entries available at the moment, of which there's a lot, Runes of Magic was intended and was free-to-play from the very beginning. And it plays, as you can see, I think you're going to see a little more of that in a minute here. It's regarded as a WoW clone with some justification. It plays a lot like WoW does. It looks a lot like WoW does. The character models not so much, but the terrain definitely is reminiscent of World of Warcraft. But gameplay-wise, there's a number of fairly distinct things about it. I am, for the first time, I have just hit level 10. And at level 10, one of those distinct things becomes available. You can choose a second profession. Now, this guy's a warrior. I'm getting some kind of pop-up, which I don't understand, but that's okay. We're headed for the big city, and I have no clue where I'm at here. I'm going to stick to the road, because I've just entered a higher level zone than I have hitherto seen. Haven't seen an aggroable mob around here, though. This looks like it's kind of a swampy type area. There's the city over there. The world is seamless, which I think is personally a big deal, since so few games bother to do it. What level is this guy? I can take this mob on. Red names tend to mean that that the mob is an aggro mob. This level 9 mob. I'm level 10. This level 9 mob appears to be relatively tough. There is a cash shop in this game. I'll show you that in a minute. It is a pretty robust cash shop. There was a huge fuss some time back because they finally made mounts available, permanent mounts available. You can rent them, I think, in any case. And they were a number of whatever the currency is, coins, gems, or whatever, something like that. That was, looks like this is some kind of zone objective. That's interesting. I had no idea. I've been in the initial zone of the Howling Hills, is it called? Let's see. Howling Mountains, which is not really particularly mountainous. Pretty much the entire time since I started the game. And I'm kind of first getting out of it for the first time now. So I'm seeing a lot of this for the first time. Not under any possible definition am I a veteran of this game. So, yeah, that's just a little reminiscent of Stormwind. I'm waiting to go in and find big statues. It's not such a bad looking game. I think most people would find that it's does not have the triumphs of art design that World of Warcraft does. But it's not what you'd call an ugly game either. And you know that sounds shallow, but I think it's important that the game looks good, be visually appealing. Unfortunately, one of the gripes I have, first of all, is this dumb fountain placement where I can't go anywhere else. One of the other gripes I have, though, is that you can't rebind keys on the mouse buttons, and that's just unfortunate. I don't like that it doesn't take my my mouse button. Okay, so we're after the warrior instructor, so it looks like we're going back around the other way, because at that instructor I have a quest that I think will eventually let me add my second class. There are 8 classes available in the game, and none of them are particularly irregular in any way. You take that as a compliment if you like. Let's see. I think the person I want is in this building. So I have to figure out how to enter this building. There we go. The big check marks above their heads mean that that's one of your objectives, or there's a quest there. As you can see, I'm diligently reading the quest text, just like I would in World of Warcraft. Okay, the guy I want is this guy all the way in the back, so I guess let's head this way. The city here does appear to use the same trick that World of Warcraft uses of not rendering stuff off screen by having a lot of walls in town. So evidently Silver Spring has some kind of group or zone objective available. I don't actually know what's up with that. And you have these annoying pop-up messages too that I wish I could get rid of. I don't know if I have any mail. Looks like I don't. So we have a snowman band here. I don't know if that's a seasonal thing or what. So anyway, Runes of Magic, not a shabby game at all. It's reasonably well done. You don't have quite the level of polish and detail that you would in a World of Warcraft type game, but it's free to play, and there's no content that is walled off to you as a free player. You are now you're kind of encouraged to buy items from the cash shop. So it's a game on the Asian free-to-play model rather than the Western free-to-play model that Turbine basically invented and everybody else has picked up on. So you can certainly play it for free without missing out on much of anything, but you might save yourself some hassle if you spend some money in the cash shop. And here's our warrior, and we have, I'm glad to see, because I'm probably going to have to talk to more than one of these people. Let's talk to this guy. Oh, the names are just terrible. The mayor of the first town, his name is George. He doesn't look like a George. He's just, you know, a random NPC whose name is George. There is crafting in this game. There is player housing in this game. It is instanced. It's not seamless. But very few games actually manage to accomplish that. So we went to meet the warrior instructor. And I pull up the K button. I press the K button here and get pull up my skills. These are actually skills that you can choose to buy increases in. I don't have enough points to do that, but as you complete quests and kill stuff, you get these training points that that will allow you to increase these abilities. So you could actually kind of pick and spec your character in that way. And looks like N brings up the social panel. I don't know if there's like talents or if that's the means of specking. So I need to figure out. I'm thinking scout. I think I would like to have some ranged capabilities. Good at attacking with the crossbow. So that sounds ranged to me. Basic equipment merchant. There's also a rather robust pet system in this game, by the way. I have this newbie pet that I got for free that doesn't do anything helpful. It's like a little Tinkerbell. Doesn't do anything helpful, so I tend not to keep it around. There are pets that you can get, and probably that you can buy in the cash shop. Let's see the item shop here. So here are the different currencies available. I'm not sure what these are, to be honest, but so there's the diamond shop, the ruby shop, and the furious token shop. And I got these furious tokens from doing something. I don't know what I can get with them. Looks like XP potions, some runes. Runes are basically, think gems. You have gem slots on your items, or rune slots on your items, and you can embed the runes in the items. Except that you get these things right away, unlike in World of Warcraft, where you don't really even see that until you're at least midway through the current level curve. You start to see these right away, and actually they can clutter up your inventory. You also notice in the backpack, this is kind of a pernicious way to soak money out of people. You have all these tabs. You have tabs 1 through 6, and I don't know if you unlock these later on, but I have tabs 1 and 2, and tab 3 I can unlock. Oh wait, I can rent it. So I can rent it for 3 days for 7 diamonds. And if I want it for 180 days, it's 110 diamonds, which is about $11. So, not a real fan of this feature. I've managed to keep, only level 10, and I'm already, sort of edging on running out of space here. Some of these things are quest items that I don't necessarily want to throw away. Some of them are potions which don't like to stack for whatever reason. They'll stack up to 100, which is fantastic, but unfortunately they seem to want to break the stacks up in your inventory for some reason. Let's see what we have. These are transport runes. I think these might be clued to teleportation somehow. So there are mounts that hold 2 players, and these are actually these are the coins instead of these furious tokens instead of. But if you go to the diamond shop, you can actually find the permanent mounts. In 132, this might be on sale actually. 132 is about 13 bucks. I think the going price was let's see, diamond exchange. Okay, so I don't have any diamond buying. An external web page will be open. That's no doubt. I don't have any purchase history because I've never bought anything in this game. Specials, so they do have specials. Huh. You can unbind, bind, and equip items. That's interesting. You have to know a little more about the game to see exactly what impact that makes. So let's see if we can buy weapons and stuff. Encyclopedias. I'm not at all a fan of this. You spend money and you get it for 30 days business. I think that's a fat load of bullshit if you ask me. But it's not entirely out of character for Asian games either. So I'm not seeing actual like weapons and armor and stuff. I'm seeing little upgradey things that you can get. There is housing. It's relatively rudimentary. I mean, those of you watching who are fans of housing in, for example, EverQuest 2, much less Vanguard or Star Wars Galaxies, will find it very unsatisfactory. But if you're a World of Warcraft player, you'll probably find it to be an extremely novel feature since WoW doesn't have it at all. And you can get to the housing from, I'm not sure you can get to the housing from town here. But in the little town I was in back in the starter zone, I could get to my little house. And you could put furniture in it and set it up and things like that. And you can pretty much do all the basic stuff without spending any cash shop money. As is true generally with this game. You can do all the basic stuff. If you want to be a serious player of Runes of Magic, you're pretty much going to want to spend money. How much money that's going to amount to, I'm not sure. That depends on exactly how serious you want to be. But what you don't have is, as far as I know, the option to just subscribe and pretty much not have to worry about it. You more or less always have to worry about it. So the city's kind of cool. I might as well go back to where I was now because I actually did want to pick up my second class. I really have no idea what to take. The Knight is a Paladin type character, which sounds to me like it would have too much overlap with my current class. The Mage is kind of interested in the Mage. I tend to like to play mages in different games. Sometimes mages in different games end up disappointing me. Now, there are also elite skills, which I think you learn later on. I'm worried about my future. What can I learn? Every class combination has its own fighting style. I didn't notice that you don't have a secondary class, you peasant. Class Administrator. So you can actually change your class too. I'm not really sure I see what the value of that is. You have, I think, 8 character slots, so you don't really have to... I think these are the quests that give me those tokens. So, I don't know. We'll go with Scout. You can change it later. I want to become a Scout. I've learned Transport to Logar. It will help me return to lower level areas. And I've heard Refort Camp Transport. It will help me. Damn it, I didn't have time to read that. I can pop up messages that I don't want to see. Okay. There's a lot of quests like this in this game where you get the quest and you just hand it right back to the same person that gave you the quest. That may go away eventually, I don't know. So I think I'm going to need... I went with Scout. So I think I want the Equipment Merchant to see the Scout's basic equipment. So let's buy that. And I didn't put it where I put it. It put it in the first available slot, which is annoying. So let's see if we have a separate missile. Ah, we do. Very good. Separate missile weapon. Do we have any ammunition? Thin wooden arrow, DPS 2.2. Wooden arrow, 2.3. That's interesting. That's interesting too. And set up 2 different equipment configurations and swap between them. You could probably hotkey that too. I think I want to unload my junk. Now this item shop backpack is a separate inventory that you can only fill with stuff from the item shop. So basically, stuff that you buy from the item shop will not glut your own inventory. Which is, I guess, kind of nice, but these are all on my second tab here. These are basically all crafting items. Basic first aid potion. Basic medicine. 220 health. 160 health. Okay, so those are not the same thing. Even though they kind of look like they are. I think I'd kind of like to have all this inventory in one huge pane. I did rescale the UI. You do have that ability to choose the UI scale. Let me show you the options here. Right on controls. No. Okay, where is it? I think it's under video settings actually. UI scale, so we can apply, and we go back to the really quite chunky UI, which doesn't really look bad, but I like to generally play with a small UI, to be honest. So I'm going to turn that back on and actually probably make it a little smaller while I'm at it. So there's some more stuff. One other interesting thing here is that all quests are actually marked on the map that are available to you at the moment. So I'm back here. I noticed that there's some quests out here in town that man, I'm almost level 11. Leveling's pretty quick, which shouldn't be really shocking at at this level anyway. I actually haven't done anything since hitting level 10 except to walk to town, pretty much. There's I'll show you the world as well. It's a decent sized. There's quite a few zones here actually. I mean, I haven't been to any of these places, of course, but let's look at this volcano. That sounds interesting. Boiling Blood Outpost. So, I mean, I don't know what this place looks like. I have kind of a pretty educated guess what it'll look like when I get there, but it's not. None of this is horrendous looking. The initial starting zone's not really very big, and you do kind of crisscross it multiple times while doing the first batch of quests. And by crisscross, I mean get a quest to do 10 things with these mobs, usually kill them or retrieve items that they drop, and then go get the follow-up quest, which then sends you to kill the same mobs that you just killed and return different items that they dropped. There's about 8 servers. I'm not seeing a tremendous number of people in this area, but I don't really know whether this is a hub at all or not. So we're looking for over there. You can keep up to 30 quests in your quest log at a time. There are daily quests too, and those also, as is the case with the runes, those pretty much start right away. You can start picking up daily quests immediately, and there's a lot of them. So definitely picking up a Stormwind vibe here. Although I would call the art style, at least in town here, slightly more toward the realistic and less to the cartoony than World of Warcraft. I think, you know, comparisons with World of Warcraft when you're talking about this is another PC here, and that is a mount. Don't know what that mount costs, but it's probably $20. Yeah, comparisons with World of Warcraft are kind of inevitable with most MMOs, let alone an MMO that kind of goes out of its way to be relatively imitative. And now we hit level 11, and I bet if I look at my map, we're going to see that there's a couple more quests available. Indeed, there are. So the icon that shows where you are can very easily get lost on this map, I noticed. You can also start crafting right away, even in the very first area. There's crafting instructors. Shiloh, who's a little boy. There seems to be a decent variety of quests, though. Where the fuck am I? I can only tell where I am by actually rotating myself. That thing needs to stand out a little bit more. Weapon shop owner. Yeah, that's kind of cool, actually. NPCs kind of hunched over old man. That's something you don't see in World of Warcraft. They definitely, the people that designed this, the developers definitely kind of developed this game with one eye on World of Warcraft, but they didn't necessarily feel constrained to endure WoW's limitations. You have the housing, you have the dual classing, which is another thing that WoW obviously does not have. You have a pretty robust pet system that's kind of built in. Certainly you can spend cash shop currency on pets too. The music that keeps fading in and out reminds me of the theme from Star Blazers. Maybe that's because I just watched Star Blazers. City doesn't really... I mean, it looks alright. Doesn't really feel alive, I don't think. Get some more quests over here that we're going to pick up. Controls are okay. I think they're a little bit sluggish. A little less sluggish than Lotro's controls. And I have a lot of good things to say about Lotro, but the responsiveness of the controls is not among the things that I would choose to compliment. Okay, there's a guy over here. So there's a crap ton of quests here. I absolutely cannot help but get lost in this map. Guilds can buy castles. I wonder if I can zone in here. Evidently not. I think I have to talk to the guild castle manager. I'm not part of a guild. Too bad it doesn't let me tour. However, the housemaid will let me tour my house. So evidently I can enter it from here. And you have a trampily dressed maid in your house. Here's my house. I don't have any furniture or anything. You can buy furniture and stuff. I think I bought I could swear I bought a chest at one point. And if I did, I don't know where that would be now. But it's just one room. You can eventually get more rooms and more space. We'll leave. It's too bad. I kind of would have liked to have seen a guild castle. When eventually I do an episode on EverQuest 2, that is probably something that I will show off. Because EverQuest 2's housing is it's kind of best. It's a best-in-class feature with EverQuest 2. Even though it does have the negative that it's not persistent housing. It's all instanced. It's still pretty amazing housing, and the game is so mature. Poor Chip. Like I said, the names of NPCs are not tremendously fantastic. It's the owner of the armor shop. So, if I seem a little negative at this point, I didn't kind of plan on doing the entire video and hanging around in town quite this long. And I had kind of hoped that the second zone would be a little more varied than the first one was, and it doesn't look like that's the case. So, but don't let me sell you off this game. It's pretty well done. And if you're a WoW veteran who has left WoW for whatever reason or is taking some time away, and you have a hankering to play a World of Warcraft-like game or have a World of Warcraft-like experience, but don't feel like you're going to get the value out of resubscribing for $15, then Runes of Magic is a great choice for you to look at. It's one of the only Asian model free-to-play games where I don't find the cash shop to be particularly obnoxious. If I were a serious player, I probably would, because there's no way to subscribe and circumvent cash shop transactions, and I'm not a fan of that. But aside from that, if you're just going to dabble in it here and there, maybe play for a weekend or so, it's a cool little game. You should check it out. I will put a link to the website in the notes below. And speaking of the notes below, as I wrap up the Runes of Magic presentation here, cool, some armor that is not an upgrade for me. As I wrap the presentation up, let me mention that in the notes below you will find a link to my website at ardwulfslair.wordpress.com, and you will find a link to Facebook, Google+, and Twitter, and make sure to follow us in those social circles as well. We have more videos coming, so subscribe to the YouTube channel. This is Ardwulf. Hope you've enjoyed watching, and I'll see you next time.